Hi, Johnny.
Really good to see you today.
Always.
Yeah. And thank you for agreeing to have a chat with me. And the reason I asked you to have a talk, be interviewed, is because I know that you've got a lot of really good information for people, especially around healing and sort of spiritual kindness and love and spiritual existence. Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
Yeah.
As you were speaking, I suddenly considered parts of my life where I haven't been kind, or ways that we can always do better, can't we?
Yeah, exactly. And also when I saw you yesterday, you were talking to me about mushrooms and various strains of mushrooms.
You're right.
And you said a few really interesting things, which of course I forgot because that's what my memory is like. So I was just wondering if you want to tell us a bit about your mushrooms and the journey that you made to, where was it?
You want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to, I was living in Australia.
Yeah.
Already intrigued by herbal medicines and yoga and ways of feeling more connected, feeling empowered, feeling loving, much prefer it, feeling healthy. So I was living in Australia, living with an amazing family, a raw food family, the tomatoes, beautiful people. And Greg had a book. He's a doctor. He's all about raw food and doctor of I think psychology or physio, something beginning with a P. Anyway,
Okay.
He showed me a book which I flicked open on a random page, and it was about medicinal mushrooms, which I didn't know much about. I knew about magic mushrooms to a degree, and I'd experienced a lot of healing with them, and so it was talking about Reishi and Cordyceps mushrooms and other mushrooms, but those two, Reishi and Cordyceps, I read about them, and I'd never really done this before, but I really deeply, something in me just said God or Creator. It wasn't in words, but I want to meet. It wasn't want. I need to meet the mushrooms. I need to meet these mushrooms. Take me to them.
Oh.
Yeah, and intrigued. I didn't really know how that was going to come about, or whether it would, or anyway. Visa ran out in Australia. Every now and then I have to pop to Bali, and so went to Bali, and this whole. I could go into more and more detail. I'll try and keep it short, maybe. But basically, I met a young couple. Very strangely, I was just about to leave. It was 3 a.m. I'd been typing up a load of stuff and sorting out this food co-op I was trying to create. And anyway, I had a bar of chocolate that I'd made in the morning with a wooden. One of the most amazing chocolates I've ever made in my life. And anyway, so it's 3 a.m. Right, let go. High vibe, happy. And I'd noticed them behind me, these guys, and I was like, could go and talk to them, but they seem happy and busy, and if I'm meant to meet them, I'll meet them whenever. Anyway, put the laptop away, put everything, bag on my back, picked up the chocolate, went to go, and suddenly I found myself at their table. I'm like, this is all about a quarter of a second. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, oh, hi guys, do you want to try my chocolate? It just came out. It was there, sort of like, I don't know, it felt a bit weird that I was suddenly facing them with no, I didn't even know how I got there. It was a very strange thing. Anyway, he said, oh yes, please, and so we shared some chocolate, and they're like, wow, this is amazing. I was like, yeah, yum, let's have some, it's delicious. And we started talking, and then they were really cool, which was already anticipated. And then she started saying, oh, I met this amazing man, ethnobotanist, study of plants for mankind. He's really into these mushrooms, mushrooms. And she said, yeah, Reishi and Cordyceps. I'm like, you're fucking joking, okay. I said, well, I need to meet the guy. I'm sure.
Oh.
When?
Oh.
Can you? Let's. And anyway, I think it was the next day, or maybe it was 2 days later. She'd organised it. He was cool to meet me, and he was selling them. So he was, as part of his way of existing and covering his trips to jungles to explore all sorts of new strains and all sorts of things. Fascinating man.
Oh.
All the lights were off in Bali, or sometimes you just get full power cut. So on the way, we're driving the moped, it all goes, and you think, oh, went dark. Anyway, so we get to this place. It's like an amazing, looked like a mushroom. The building looked like a mushroom. It was quite a stunning looking thing. I hadn't seen a building like it. So we climb up the stairs, it's all dark and mysterious, actually, kind of intriguing. And get to the front door, which is open. Knock, knock, knock. Dale, are you there, Dale? She's calling out, and I'm thinking, oh fuck, he's not here. You know, a bit of an anticlimax. Anyway, knock, knock, knock again. I'm about to go, and then we hear this sort of noise, and I'm not well, actually. It's a South African guy. Anyway, can't see him. It's all dark, and anyway, it goes on and on. But basically, he invited us in. He said, "Oh, I'm not in a good place, really. You know, you can come in for a minute." Anyway, I noticed how he was walking in the dark. Clomp, clomp. Look, he sort of looked like a mushroom creature. And I was feeling buzzed, like excited to try these mushrooms. And who is this guy? And he's heavy, sort of. I'm all a bit like a wisp of air compared to his great thud. And I thought, it doesn't look like I'm going to get much information out of the dude. You know, on a personal level, I'm careful. I'm searching, keen. You know. And anyway, so we somehow gradually, slowly, candles came on. He gave us some tea. You know, he slowly, and then Bobby that showed us there, she went off. She's like, "I gotta go now." It was quite a heavy feeling, the whole thing. And I just how
Can
to
I
nourish.
just ask, is this still 3 o'clock in the morning?
No, this was the next day.
Oh, okay.
Next day, yeah.
Okay.
So basically, I was at the time keen to uplift the guy and bring presents and meet him. It starts to be more and more fascinating. All these medicines, a great coil of spiky vine stuff over there. What's that? And you know, what's going on for you? And what do you do? And how, you know? And it gradually, over like 6 hours in the night, the lights came back on gradually. He started walking a bit more quicker and move around this crazy round house with showing me, do you want to try this? Mushrooms, medicines, Tonkat Ali, dung dung dung, loads of all sorts of. It's like my efforts paid off, and the guy was wide awake, and this sort of like thing was gone, you know. Anyway, I ended up buying quite a lot of, probably a couple of £100 worth of Reishi and Cordyceps tinctures. He'd made a very strong extract because it fits in a smaller place and you can carry more across the world, and they're cancer remedy. Well, you can't say that, but they're anti-tumour. And he's basically the local medicine man in a way, herbal type of side of things. If someone's got a dog bite or a snake bite, or they need someone to handle a snake, they call him. He's helpful. And so yeah, so I started getting really into. I loved them. I feel medicines in my body, and I can feel how different things affect me, and I was really excited. So I thought, I'll buy enough for me, and I'll buy more for mates, and I'll buy enough, and maybe make them available, and sell them or put them alongside my shop of where all the other little bits and bobs that I had available to people. And that all very good. Visa runs out again, back to Bali again, buy more. You know, this happened a few times. Go back next time, maybe third or fourth time, and more, because it's all happening. And I was actually making a little bit of money, which was providing people with really good health. That's a no-brainer. They were happy, I was happy. Anyway, so he says, I won't be doing the cordyceps again. It's like, something in me like, no, what do you mean? No, you have to do that. That's my favourite one, you know, the golden one. And I said, why not? You know, blah 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 blah. Too much hassle. I don't want to go to I have to go to Kuala Lumpur, Chinatown. Can't be fucked, mate. You know, I've had enough of doing all that palaver. I was like, I'll go. And he's like, it's complex. You won't be able to find the mushrooms. And I said, no, I will be able to find the mushrooms. You know, you don't have to tell me exactly where. I'm happy to. I'm up for it, basically. If I go and get the mushrooms, will you? How can we navigate this? That basically you show me how to do it, or we do it together, or I want to learn. You know, I let's make some medicine, basically. Let's do this. So it comes around to it that I had another jaunt off to Byron Bay and things to sort out and what have you. So I made it via Kuala Lumpur. It just made sense. It all clicked. So I flew into Kuala Lumpur. I had 2 days there before to score the mushrooms. I want to go and get these mushrooms, and then I want the best quality. It's not about money. To a degree, you can buy lab-grown mushrooms, or you can buy wild mushrooms. And I knew that wild ones can be like £1,000 for, you know. And so I thought it doesn't matter. It's not. I haven't got grands and grands and grands, but I could certainly flick sort of 3-4 grand into this. I want this stuff alive. It's anti-cancer and it's saving lives, and also I just love the effect of it, you know. And yeah, it's working. So, and people want to buy it. So it's like, I'm not going to lose the money, you know. So I did fly into Kuala Lumpur, and 2 days. It was hectic. It was hectic. I went to every shop I could find that had any mushrooms, and my God, surrounded by all these medicines. It was so fascinating and fun. It was also quite involving. Like, I found what was very clear. I tried the expensive ones. I didn't get anything out. There's no energy to them for me. It was like I was sensitive to my body, and these lab ones, even though I'm not into labs or necessarily, they were the ones that had the chi. They were the ones that had the vitality and the essence of what it was about, and I could feel that they were realigning. And so I bought the most expensive. I bought the ones that were right. They were the most expensive of them, and I bought quite a big sack of them. I also had other things going on, mildly illegal, I suppose. I don't mind sharing, but mildly. And I had 10 kilos of maca, because you can't import that into Bali, and the place where I get my best favourite drinks from in Bali, who are quite a high, upbeat, amazing cafe, they use maca in their drinks, and maca's a medicine for the people, so I thought I'll bring 10 kilos. So I had a massive sack of what is sort of yellow, grey, white powder. I was making and teaching people how to make raw chocolate, and I wanted my own resources. I wanted mesquite and lucuma, also whitey, pinky, yellowy powders, big sacks of powders. All I had a silly amount of funny like flip-flops and some sort of sarong and some like a couple of t-shirts and a couple of undies, and about it really. And a big sack of orange mushrooms and a load of other fiddly, loads of herbs and other little things, and this great big sack of maca and a heavy bloody bag. And anyway, so I go through customs thinking hopefully they won't stop me, you know. Anyway, so you go through one machine, and then you have to go through the next machine, and I watched there's like 6 or 8 all these guys are like humming around where I was headed. They went, they're all, you know, well keen to, you know. I thought, so I go through it. I can't sort of just divert as I'm seeing them. It's a bit obvious. So, and they say, oh, you haven't filled out your forms. I was like, oh, that's fantastic. Fill out the form. Go to the other one. They all go like wasps or something like. Anyway, so okay, well they're definitely going to check me, and so yeah, they did, and they open that. What's this? You know, high alert, because any drugs over there, even a bit of spliff or anything like that, it's death sentence, even, you know, even for the tiniest. So massive sacks of powder is kind of like they're pretty keen to do the legal thing, you know. So they start stabbing scalpel into the middle of the sack. Oh, why don't you do it, you know. Anyway, they drug test, it's all going on. It's like my body's going, you know, a bit jingly, you know. It's I know it's not illegal, but it's also, well, in a way it is a bit. You're not allowed to import, certainly not for sale. So anyway, it goes on and on all this, but basically they didn't find anything illegal, so all but one of them left, and they left one guy with me, and he said, whatever it is too much for Bali. And I've never seen it before, but I saw these green dollar signs. They went like a cartoon. It was very weird. Like, literally, he was showing me that he wanted some money. So that was, in that moment, I was like, I'm in Bali for 1 month, because whatever the visa length, was it 3 or 1 month? Anyway, it's full length. I said, look, I'm in Bali for visa time, this length of time. If I eat Balinese cooked food, I get very, very sleepy. It's the first thing that came to my mind, because I was eating raw food a lot of the time, or actually completely. I was into a raw food diet at the time. I said, I get very sleepy if I eat the barley. I wish I could eat your local mama food, but if I do, I can't. My body's sleepy. This is my food for 1 month. I need this. Have you finished checking? If you have, I'm going. And I turned and I left, and he let me. That was it. Great. Okay, that's fantastic. Seem to have managed that. That's the first little. Well, Chinatown was one little hurdle, and customs was the next. I was through. Let's go. So anyway, we go and make the medicine basically, and I didn't realise, but I made 40 grand's worth of medicine. I didn't plan any of this money. I just knew that whatever it costs, we'll do that. Work out how much it is for 20 mil, and probably double it because I've flown around and all the rest of it. It's been a right old effort. I've invested, so it's fair enough that I end up with some for me, sort of thing. And so that turned out to be a lot of. Well, it was anyway. Used the sun to do the alcohol extraction, all in jars, and it was very exciting. I felt a lot of joy and love around this. It was one of my most exciting projects. This is like 12, 15 years ago, and I'm still anyway, long time ago. Very excited about it still. I've only got half a litre left. But which if someone's in dire need, then it's like whoever comes next has it, It's, if I drink it, fair enough, which I tend not to because I feel full of it in some way. I sort of feel like I've integrated it in some way. But yeah. He did the water extraction, which is 40 hours. It's quite laborious. It's quite a lot of work. And then since we've had inoperable, I had to leave it all with him. I could only take a litre at a time. So every time I go to Bali, I take another litre, or whoever I'm with. Can you carry a litre? Thanks so much. Get it back to Australia. Little shops had it, and that's my job. Really, was Reishi and Cordyceps. Carried on and enjoying tinkling people's immunity. And it's antibacterial, antimicrobial, antiviral, antioxidant, anti-tumour. It's immunomodulator, which means that if your immune system is autoimmune or immune, I always forget the word, is it deficient, immune suppressed? Anyway, if you're slow or fast on the immune, it comes to you as an adaptogen. It adapts to the person that's having it in the moment, where they're at, and it balances out their immune system, which is like clever. And he had all my stock there, trusted him completely, sort of had to, it's all good. And one time I came back and he said, "Oh, Alex, I've got something to tell you." Basically what happened is I had to give away quite a lot of your medicine, and quite a few grand's worth. But the thing is, I was in the situation where someone came to me, they got an inoperable brain cancer, and I knew that medicine was anti-tumour and could support them to live. What could I do? So I gave it to them. And in my little ego personality, I kind of like, well, it's quite a lot of resource, and within seconds I'm like, well, it's for life, And as I was thinking that, he said, "But I have got a table over there, which I've laid out all these different," and he had this treasure trove of mega amazing. He's like, "You can take anything you want from there to cover your sense of feeling okay about this, so that you're not losing anything." And so I ended up with even more, ended up with amazing. Yeah, thanks, Dale, And yeah, it goes on and on. But these two people have not died because of that. For a start, we don't know how many other people have dealt with whatever else. But over the years, people, "Oh, I've got a funny tummy. Oh, here you go." And then 20 minutes later, "Oh my God, what was that? It's finished. It's gone." Or a day and a half later, they no longer got flu, which might have happened anyway. But these people are all telling me, everyone's telling me, "Wow, that stuff's amazing," and I know. And the love that I put into it, and the care throughout the alchemical process, and it was a toil, but it was also so worthy, like any hard work, for the right cause. So into it.
Wow. That's an amazing story. And yesterday you said something quite scientific about the cordyceps and the reishi, but I can't remember what it was. Do you?
I can remember one thing that's coming to mind is the immune system itself. I'm more hippy trippy than science logic, but I do value the science, as do many. So thanks for asking. Basically, the immune system's made up of various different cells that all operate in a different way. It's a bit like you've got a jailer that captures the criminal, and then you've got someone that will come and be the psychologist and sort of try to navigate how to deal with this issue.
Oh.
So the cordyceps mushroom stimulates the macrophage cell, which is the largest of the immune cells, the white blood cells. So they go and engulf what is a rogue cell, or if you've got a blob of cancer, where people talk about different reasons why cancer comes about. In my hippy trippy, or whatever you call it, way, in my sort of thoughtless consideration of it, basically it's a clump of energy that it doesn't know where to go because there isn't a flow. The flow is somehow, it's become stagnant somehow. It's locked into. So anyway, the macrophage cells, or the body's kind of like, well, I've got this lump thing or whatever knot of how to get rid of it. So they come and start hacking away at the edge. They engulf the edge of it, and then once they've got it, they work it all out, and somehow they say, well, I need T3 cells, or I need T4 cells, or so they call for the way to take it out and ultimately shit it out, basically. Release it, dilute it down, so reishi stimulates, I'm trying to remember, is it T3 or T4, and all the mushrooms, all these, not all the mushrooms, but all these medicinal mushrooms. Paul Stamets is a really great source of information and massive research, quite amazing man, well worth YouTubing and looking at some of it. I like him, he's funny and intriguing, and he certainly knows about magic mushrooms as well, and their benefits. And old growth forest, that's a very important, that's a food resource for these mushrooms to exist in nature. It's what we need, it's what they need. They medicate us to heal us, to look after the forest, which looks after us, which looks after the mushrooms, which we're all together here to look after each other and make this a better world. And the mushroom's intelligence, or the spirit of the mushrooms, dare I say, there's a really immaculate creatorship going on here, and they really boost the immune system, which gets us healthy, which means we haven't got blocks and locks, and we don't need a new iPhone to make it better, and we're not searching for something outside of our bodies. We're it's delicious dance going on where cells are alive. It's like it's all about unlocking and clearing and being full and content and breathing really well and being with the sun and being with the earth. And high-rise buildings are, you could climb a tree and have a good view. It's that's more intriguing for me anyway. It's amazing what people are creating, and the great walls and structures and defences and methods of feeling power, or feeling more full, or being with the wonder, if you like. The new creation. It's like what a gift that we've got this sense of wonder. And if you don't need buildings, money, technology, I don't see them as separate. They're part of it. And new iPhone, wow, okay. I don't want to promote iPhones at all, but new camera, exciting. We're using one right now. We're trying to capture the most beautiful colours and the most immaculate shapes and frequencies of existence to share. That's what it is. So it's really. I think you're intrigued about them. I'm getting a buzz out of the mushrooms because I get a buzz out of raw nature, and about us being in harmony and unity, and the diversity. Diversity is a need. For a cordyceps alone, it's actually in the wild. It feeds on insects. So there's thousands of. I haven't proved or known. I'm not trying to prove it, but they keep finding new species. Every single species of cordyceps has a different insect host. So it might be a bullet ant, or it might be, there's David Attenborough. That's another good YouTube. Quite a shocker. But where the cordyceps drops its spores, like any mushroom, they blow in the wind. They obviously, it wants to get up high so that it can have a broader umbrella of where those spores are going. So it drops the spores down, lands on the bullet ant, infiltrates the bullet ant's consciousness. If you want, in those words, that could be a way to explain it. Bullet ant thinks, must go up, climbs up the tree. Just must do this. You know. At one point, at a certain altitude, it'll lock its mandibles, the bitey things, into the tree. So it locks in, and then the mushroom is telling it to do this, or tripping it out to do that. Lock them in, and then the mycelium of the mushroom spreads throughout the whole ant, and which is its food source, which is what mushrooms do. Their mycelium, if it's a branch, it will go through the whole branch or the whole tree until it's got that, and then once it's worked out where its food source is, then it will start fruiting and sending spores off so it can procreate. So it basically takes over the whole ant's body, eats it, and shoots the mushrooms out the back of its head in that video. There's these 3 mushrooms pop out the back of the ant's head. That ant's done for. Thank you, ant. And the mushroom continues. So the spores fall down, it goes around and around, the mushroom wins, you know. On another level, the ant, its defense mechanism is, dodgy ant. 2 of them will pick it up, escort it down, kill it, look to each other, and kill each other. Woof. Leave it all down for the tribe, for the, what do you call it? Hive, what do you call those? Colony. So the ant is its mechanism. They're selflessly, holistically giving themselves to the whole. You know, it's beyond its personal life. It's not an ego trip. I must be the most important. We've all got a job to do, a surrender to provide, and what an amazing way to go in service.
So Alex, that's been fascinating hearing about the story about the cordyceps and the reishi, and I see that you have got your liquids in front of you.
Yeah.
I thought we might try them.
Very welcome. Yeah.
And
I haven't got. I've actually. You caught me at a point where I haven't got any little bottles and droppers and all that. I've got glass.
Okay.
So it might be that you will have a little mega dose.
Okay.
It's safe to have. It is alcohol, 25%.
Okay.
So in that way, how much alcohol do you want? You know. But on another level, basically, yeah, I'm not going to try and over.
No.
I just want to. I'll see what comes out, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What would you like to try first, Johnny? Do you want to try reishi or cordyceps?
Let's go.
Should I explain anything about them or reishi?
Yeah, sure.
They're similar medicines. They're both immunomodulators. They're both anti-tumour, antimicrobial. All I said before.
Yeah.
They affect different meridian lines. As far as this is, I think I read that somewhere, or that's what I feel. That's true. But basically, yeah. Reishi is, this is my interpretation. I never heard this from anyone else. I don't want to project it to, but anyway, Reishi to me is a bit like big base of a pyramid. If you look at a pyramid and how its structure is, you need the base to hold everything up, sort of thing. It's the big, wide, feminine, receptive, soft in a way. It doesn't mean soft, but it's like wide, receptive holder, brown. Earth kind of, and then cordyceps is like the same amount of energy but in the gold cap. It's like it's a very more upper, and I don't really want to say masculine because they're both. It's silly, but basically,
so reishi is more like a foundation sort of thing.
That's how I see it. If someone's really jittery and they've got loads of information in them and they need to just settle down, a bit like me, they settle down and gather and work with what they've already got, then reishi will aid that. If someone's more set in their ways, but there's an issue, maybe that's why. Cordyceps is more like the way that they can. Okay, slightly different way, or bring the service. It's more gold or orange gold. It's just the way this terminology, words to explain something that isn't really in words, but. Yeah, they work really. They're very synergistic. They work so well together, as do many of the mushrooms. They're all not all. Sorry, but there's a lot of them that are adaptogens, which is the one that adapt to you as a person in that moment, which changes all the time. They adapt to you and provide towards balance for you. Like the forest is always navigating itself. There's so much information about how the mycelium delivers nutrient to trees, and trees want other trees because a tree on its own will blow over in the wind, whereas forest is got its. Let's try some. Okay. Which one do you want to try?
that one you've got
Seems
your
to be,
hand
doesn't
on.
it?
Yeah.
Didn't even know I was doing that. Here's to your very good health.
Thank you.
Our.
Oh.
Do you want to share that with me?
Yeah, of course.
What does it smell
This
like?
is the reishi, is it?
Reishi Ganoderma lucidum. The Chinese talk about mushroom of immortality.
It's very mushroomy.
When you could have said this first really. Whilst you're receiving a medicine now, very good to obviously appreciate what you're putting in your body. Very good to drop tension, you know, to invite it in if you're going to have it.
Yeah.
Whether that's an avocado or whatever it is, you know, that you're feeding or meeting. You know, as me and you meet, it's not kind of like, all right, Johnny, yeah. You know, give me a hug. How you doing? Lovely to see you. Connect. You know, so then to have a medicine in that way, you meet it so much more deeply. So to be grateful, it's just it's the beauty. It's the you know, the link up.
So it's just sort of accepted and a mindful blessing, so to speak.
Yeah, to have a moment with that meeting. You know, if you have a lover, you're not kind of, well, depends. I'm sure there's everything going on in this planet. So to have a lot of grace and connection and honouring, I'm sure it'll be better to connect, a better connection. So yeah, it's always good to know where you're at, and then what is it you're putting in, and then you get a different awareness of what it is. Give some time to what you're eating, what you're buying, what you're exchanging. You know, let's try the other one.
Okay.
Okay, they go so well together.
Right.
And some good breaths settles the body, and
so this is the cordyceps.
Cordyceps, yeah.
Okay.
It's my favourite, really. Love it. Golden.
Taking a moment to appreciate it.
Noticed. I've had it for a while.
Well, it tastes rather potent.
It's very high. It's very well. We want as much in the bottle as possible, basically. So yeah, a smaller dose, more mobile, and less. Yeah, more information within the alcohol and the water extraction that it is. It just makes more sense.
Wow.
Do you like? How do you feel with that?
I feel pleased.
Quite tingly.
Yeah.
You're getting that sense, like wave of. I feel like it's gold.
I feel like there's an enhancement that is in the process of happening.
Yeah, yeah, going deeper and deeper. I love sharing these moments.
They are fantastic moments to share.
They're great together as well. They're really well. We did sort of have them together, but even as just in one, they're actually the taste as well. I love the taste of it. You?
I actually really like the taste. Yeah.
Yeah. I bet. What's your favourite?
I think the cordyceps.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
Sort of, knowing you, I sort of get people ask me, "Oh, which one do you think?" So thousands of times I've had to. I'm not a doctor, you know. And another level, I'm me. I've got an idea. They're asking me, then. So you start to get an idea of. Well, I got empathically feel what's happening in other people if I pay attention to that. So then start to reading those moments. I'm not doing that right now because I'm just. I used to do it a lot more. I think I'm more into what I'm into and let everything else outside happen, do its own thing. But yeah, you start to learn, I suppose, what's most dynamic and harmonic and synchronistic and symbiotic.
Wow.
Beyond the logic.
Yes. Beyond the paradigm.
It's it within and beyond. And yeah, so far in, far out is an equal.
Here.
There, here. Now.
Well, Alex, thank you so much for chatting with us today and telling us about the reishi and the cordyceps.
Pleasure, mate.